Hello everybody, this is Dana with the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. I'm coming to you all today. The video will be a little bit long and I'll tell you why, because I'm sure you saw the title of this video. But I was sitting around cleaning out some of the things that my task that I completed, and I'm preparing to work on another knitting project, and I thought that this would be a really cool time to start another Yarncrafters tag. I know we've done a couple before, and I'm saying we as in the Yarn Crafters on the YouTube globe. Yeah, we can call ourselves our own globe. Um, but I thought it would be really cool to have another Yarn Crafters tag. Now here is the deal. I really would like it if when you do the tag that you come back to this video and do a video response to this video. Also, if you can give me a shout out or add me to your description bar, I would love that too. Because I like to be able to see the videos and to be able to go over and to respond or comment and listen to your video. And so with that said, if you are watching this, I hope that you will plan to respond to it. I will not add any fancy intros or closures or none of that stuff, because I would love for you all to just record them and post them so that it will not seem like a lot of work. And no, I will not be editing this video. So that crazy look that I had at the beginning because I did not realize that the camera was rolling will stay. Okay. So with that said, I will add all of the questions into the description box of this video. I will also ask, yes, I'm asking nicely, if you mention anybody's channel or anything like that, if you could potentially add it to your description bar, even if description box, even if it's later, that would be greatly appreciated. Because when people do tags and they mention all these wonderful channels, but then they don't remember the name and they don't tell you how to spell it, and we know that that can be very funny and tricky on YouTube. I kind of feel like we don't get the best benefit of tags, because sometimes that's the easiest way to find other people to subscribe to, or other people that you can learn from, or that you just want to just check out their channel and see if it's something that you would be interested in. So with that said, I have not thought about my responses in advance. I wrote the questions out and I wanted to answer them live on camera. So here we go. Actually, sorry, before I actually answer the questions, this is going to probably be a little bit long. So if you need to pause me for a second, grab your needle, grab your hook, something, or grab your needles, grab your hook, and work while you listen to this. I am totally okay with that. This would be a great time to pause. Okay, if you don't, let's get started. Question number one: what type of crafter are you? And I gave examples: crochet, knit, etc. Well, and I guess I should have said my name. My name is Dana, and I crochet. I also knit, and I dabbled in jewelry and stuff like that. Not very good with that. I wish I was better, just because I think it's so cool, but I really don't wear a lot of jewelry, and that probably doesn't lend itself well to trying to create something, because I like what I like, and everything else I kind of don't know much about. I do a little bit of sewing, and I hope to get better at sewing. That's something that I really want to add on my list of crafts. Another thing that I would consider a craft that I enjoy doing is I enjoy drawing a little bit, but I'm not like, yeah, kind of one of those things you just do for yourself. And I do quite a bit of that when I get time. Um, so yeah, but primarily yarn crafts. And so that's what I enjoy. And if you subscribe to my channel, I show my crochet and my knitting crafts. Question number two: what is your favorite type of projects and why? My favorite type of projects, I actually have to say that my favorite type of projects are larger projects. Um, Not necessarily like little intricate details, but like blankets, I like to do shawls. And the reason why is because it tends to be something that will allow me to kind of get myself, my mind and my just myself lost in the project in a sense, so that I can kind of think or deprogram or de-stress. And so usually it lends itself to longer projects. Also, I find that handcrafting with yarns is very melodic, very soothing and relaxing. And so I tend to find that more so in longer projects. So that's why it's relaxing. I love it. And also, I find that the larger projects, you kind of feel like it's a bigger chunk of yourself going out. And I give a lot of my projects away. So it's really this extension of yourself to someone else. So that's kind of detailed, but yeah, that's what it is. Number three, how did you learn your craft? Oh, I need to fix that typo. How did you learn your craft? Crochet, knit, or fill in your craft of choice. I learned to crochet. I always say I learned to crochet from my mother, but she never sat me down and said, "This is how you crochet." But she crocheted a lot, and she usually would not do it for periods of time, and then all of a sudden she would work on this huge project, a blanket or something like that. And so I would see her. But what was so interesting is when I was growing up, we spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house. And in my grandmother's den, she had these pillows, these red pillows. And we would play with them, we would chunk them at each other, we would sleep on them, all this other stuff. And those were crochet pillows. And it wasn't until later that I learned that those were made by my mother when she was younger. And my grandmother always kept them in her den. So my mother's work was always around me. And so I learned crocheting from watching her. I must have been probably about, I think around 6 or 7 when I started crocheting. And over time, I would just watch her and I picked up on it. It wasn't until I was maybe in my 20s that I learned how to read patterns and expanded my knowledge of crocheting beyond blankets and your occasional shawl and way too many coasters, you know. And so that was probably in my 20s. And then as far as knitting is concerned, I learned in my 20s, and I in the past year or so really learned how to do it because I knew how to do it a little bit, but not enough to do a full project. And so that has been in the last, um, it's been a year or so of really dedicating time to knitting. And now that I have the hang of it, I do a lot more of it. Um, the other crafts that I talked about, those all just have been from just drawing just came to me. And I used to love, my mother is a teacher, and when I was younger I would draw a lot of her wall decorations and things like that. Like if she had a theme that she wanted to go for that year, I would look at pictures in some of the books because it may have been too expensive for the center or the school that she was working at to purchase. And we would get the big, huge things of construction paper, and I would draw freehand, and we would just doll it up. And so that just kind of, uh, I guess, that encouraged that soft skill that I have. How often do you crochet or knit or whatever your craft is? Uh, Crochet and or knit almost every single day, several times a day. And if I have a lot of things like conference calls or um, group calls and things like that that I have to do, it'll be even more because I can actually talk and listen and crochet at the same time. Now, knitting, I can if it's just like a straight project where all I have to do is like knitting around it. I don't have to worry about a pattern. And so typically I can do, either or both pretty much every day. Normally though, probably about 3 to 4 times a week. When I'm like I'm doing now, trying to get a lot of projects done and finished every day. Every day. Okay. Question number 4, I didn't tell the other numbers, I'm sorry. Number 5, Question number 5. What do you love most about crochet or knit or fill in your craft? What I love most. Oh, what I love most is probably the downtime that it gives you. Uh, as far as the actual act of doing it. The fact that it's so relaxing, the fact that I do it quite often in my prayer time, and so that is very fulfilling. And so I think that's what I like most about it. What is probably a really close second, really close second, is now the ability to really like craft pieces that you can wear every day. And it's something different to go and buy something and see it and it's nice, but it's something totally on another, another scale when you can see something like it and then make it yourself. And so I think those two, because they're so close, are what I love most about it. And I think that's one of the great things about things like YouTube and going and taking classes. And it's because you really can express yourself through your handmade items. And so that's what I love most. Oh, I guess that was the third, huh? I guess another, I guess a close third is self expression. Okay. Number 6. What do you least like about crochet or knit or your craft of choice? Least like. I least like. I least like when I buy stuff and there's a lot of hype and I don't like it. And I know you can take stuff back, but it's just I don't like that, and that has nothing to do with the actual. Well, I guess it kind of does. Um, Another thing that I least like about my craft is that, okay, this may be kind of whiny, but I feel like I really wish that yarn companies would kind of pick their lane and stick to their lane. what I what I mean by that, I'm noticing that I'm maybe it's because I'm just getting older. I don't know what it is. I just feel like sometimes they see a trend, and I understand that you want to, get more people into your brand and all that other stuff. But it would be really cool, as an example, if you knew this brand for this one, this thing, this type of yarn, whatever. Maybe I don't know. You know what I'm saying. I hope you know what I'm saying. And then another brand, let me give an example because I guess it's kind of like that, but not to me. Let's say, for example, you know that Red Heart, again, as an example, is dynamic at affordable acrylic yarns. Boom. That is Red Heart's thing, for example. And it's kind of that way, but not, right? Because they have all these other things. Another example may be, which is somewhat true, Lion Brand. Lion Brand is really great for their chunky, bulky wools or something like that. The reason why I say that is because there are so many companies, and you can go in a yarn store, which is a goodness so bad about being a yarn crafter, and go nuts. You can go nuts. Then you go home and you get so excited and the yarn splits all the time, or it doesn't work good, or they were in somebody else's lane and they just stick to your lane. Stick to your lane. Okay. Another thing that I don't like that is a hazard of the craft is some of this yarn is expensive. Oh, Lord help me. It is expensive. It is expensive. And either it's expensive or I'm cheap, and I'm going to blame it on them because I don't think it's that cheap. Yesterday, I went to this beautiful yarn shop and I almost died on the inside as soon as I walked in the door. The lady at the counter was talking to me and I almost couldn't focus on her. It was so much yarn around me. and she was just saying something to me, and I was answering as in, okay, I just want to stop this conversation so I can walk around. And I saw this yarn, and it was absolutely beautiful, and it was $27 per skein or per hank of yarn. $27, and it was less than 200 yards of yarn for $27. Okay, I'm about to get on the soapbox. Okay, $27. $27. It was $27. Okay. I shouldn't have brought that up. Let's go to the next one, especially because I'm not editing this out. That just makes my heart race just thinking it was $27 and it was less than 200 yards of yarn. Okay, next question. How do your loved ones feel about your crafting? Okay, I believe they like it. But so I'm gonna say what they like, what I believe they like about it. I believe they like the fact that when I make them things, they know it's just for them. And for the most part, when I gift pieces, it's usually one of a kind pieces. I do not usually make any more of it. I mean, one of, I guess, the biggest gifts to date that I can think of, which was uh, the inspired Princess Tiana blanket that you'll see on my channel. I mean, I like to do things like that so that when I do give them to loved ones, family members, or whatever, I think that's something that they love about it. Um, Usually my sisters love when I'm working through patterns and trying to fix stuff because they want to come through, or they want me to send them certain things so that they can get those things. My children love it because I don't make a lot of things like mittens and things like that because it doesn't really get cold in our area to really have those things all the time. But my children love for me to make them blankets every few years or whatever, so they enjoy that. But what I will probably say that what they probably least like is that I buy a lot of yarn. And for my gifts, I ask for gifts that support my habit. So either yarn or needles or classes, or this past year they did fantastic, I must say. They did fantastic. Um, but I would say that. And I don't know. I would say they like it. And hey, it makes me happy. If I'm happy, we're all happy, right? Okay. 8. Share your best tip for your craft. I wrote these questions and I didn't think about it, but I thought this would be great to hear other people's tips. Okay, I'm gonna share one for knitting, and I don't know if it's my best tip, but it's kind of one of the most recent tips that I found, and I am loving it. And for crochet, I gotta think for a second. For knitting, the most recent tip that I started doing and I love it is I use the Denise interchangeable knitting needles, which I have really started liking a lot more than in the beginning. I actually use them a lot now. And so with the interchangeable needles, I'm finding that, and here's the tip, that on your right hand, you put a smaller tip than what your pattern may call for, which is in your, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I'm sorry. Your left hand, you put the smaller needle. Your right hand, you put the needle that is required for your pattern. Okay, so let's say, for example, your pattern calls for a size 8 um, set of needles. On your right hand, you put the 8, but on your left hand, put like either a 6, or you could just go a size down, but I usually do 2 sizes down if I can. So on my left hand, I'll have a 6. So you'll have an 8 and a 6. And the good thing about the interchangeable needles is that you can do that with no problems. Why this is a great tip, if you don't know this, is because it will make your knitting go so much faster. Because that means that on your left hand, which is your hand that you hold your active stitches on, because you you knit into them and transfer onto your right needle, it will make it so that your right needle, which is your larger needle, will go into your openings and your spaces easier because your left needle is smaller. So that usually makes it work up really fast, especially because the Denise knitting needles are plastic, and they do not, for me, knit as fast as, let's say, your aluminum or like your boy needles or something like that. And but they're not as maybe slower as your porous needles, like your bamboo or something like that. So anyway, that is like the tip that I most recently, I don't even know where I saw the tip. Somebody was talking about something else and they just mentioned it, and I tried it and I fell in love, and I wish I knew already because I would so give you credit. But yeah, that's one of the best tips for crochet. I can't think of anything right now. I think some of the two of the things that usually kind of trick people out that I do, but I kind of see it a lot more on YouTube, so it may not be new to you all. Number one is that I use bobby pins for stitch markers, and I had to stop doing that with knitting, so now I actually own stitch markers. But I use bobby pins for stitch markers, and I love that, which is number one. And number two, I forgot that fast. I can't even think. Hmm. I wish I had a juicy one like knitting. But I think sometimes with crochets, I've done it so long and it's secondhand that I always think everybody knows something and sometimes you don't. So I look forward to hearing everybody else's, best tip. And I don't have anything for the others because I'm not that good in order to even speak on it to give a good tip. Okay, number 9. What is a technique that you would like to learn concerning your craft? A technique that I would like to learn. Okay, I'm going to say one for knitting, and I'm going to say one for crochet, and I hope I do not let it slip out of my ears. So I'm going to start with crochet first. For crochet, I want to get better at the, actually two. I'm going to cheat, but I made up the questions. I want to learn, okay, I know how to do the Tunisian stitch, but I've never really liked it because I feel like when you have to work larger projects, that it becomes difficult to do. And now that I knit, it kind of seems like it's not necessary, but I really would like to be better at it. I've seen it done in some really great projects. So that's one thing I would love to do, to be better at the Tunisian stitch, more so than just like a little, a little something. Also, the, what is it called? I have this stuff, but I did it once and it was too much. The, it's not the broomstick, but it's the one where it has the little lace. No, it's not lace. Oh man, this is what I wish I would edit this. I can't think of it right now. If somebody knows, please put it in your comment. But it's the one where it's like the little bracket, and the bracket reminds me of like when you were in elementary school and you wanted to do the weaving. And I can't think of it right now, but you put the yarn around and you take the needle and you kind of slip stitch up the center. And it's not broomstick and it's not lace. I can't think of it right now. But I've seen some beautiful patterns done with it, and I've even bought them. I just haven't dedicated time to do it. Stitch Diva does a great job of some um, patterns for it. And I know it's not lace, and I keep wanting to say broomstick, but I just don't. It's not either. I can't think. Those are the two techniques for crochet that I would like to learn, or to get better at, in order to make something that I would actually wear or use. That's a better way to say it. So for knitting, I would like to, okay, intarsia. Right? I think that's what it's called. I have seen it, but I've never really done it. And when I see it, I say to myself, you can do that, but I haven't actually done it yet. And a lot of it I see on like the sweaters, but I wouldn't wear those sweaters. I wouldn't wear the sweaters, so I wouldn't try it. But I saw a pattern. Wait, I'm sorry. Um, that was kind of rude. Sorry. Because somebody would wear 'em. I've seen people like there's some people on YouTube that do it and they make it look so good, and it doesn't look like those like really cheesy ones. And so I'm gonna just keep watching videos, and when I see somebody that does a pattern that like really excites me, then I may try it. But I saw someone do a pattern for boot toppers, and that made me think about doing it. Wasn't it in Target? I think it was. It was. I'm almost certain it was. So that's what I want to learn with knitting. And not it's not per se a technique, but this fall or winter, I really would like to tackle my first sweater. And I don't know if you would consider that a technique, but I kind of would consider it because I think it's an art form when it comes to doing sweaters and all of that, because really you have those individual pieces versus it being worked up in one piece. So that's what I'd like to learn. Number 10, fill in the blank. When I'm not crafting, I love to read. I read a lot. I read probably more than I craft. And when I'm not reading a book, and sometimes when I'm crafting, I listen to audiobooks. I love to read. I love to read. And I love to, of course, spend time with my family. But as far as hobbies, I love to read. And I, at one time, could say I love to run, and I'm trying to get back into that love space with running, because that's something else that I really love to do. And so we're dating again. And so that's what I like to do when I'm not crafting. Reading and writing. As you all may or may not know, I like to write fiction books, and I have books under my pen name in Amazon that are available right now. So plug Black Diamond by Janice Dixon. That's me. Number 11, tell us about 5 other yarn crafters you subscribe to on YouTube. And I do put here that if you can list the channels in your description box, I would love you for life for it, because I love to go check out the channels. So I'm not saying your top, I'm saying whatever's on the top of your head, because I subscribe to so many. So my number 1, which I'm so going to cheat on, but you got to just go with it. I'm not editing it out. Number 1, cast off crew members. I'm just going to lump them all together. So if you go to any of my cast off crew videos, go to the description box, and bam, all of them, love them. and um and I ask you to tell us what you like about their channels if you could. And what I like about the cast off crew members is that it gives you an opportunity to see what other people are doing. Sometimes it lets us know the pace at which some people work through things, and you start getting a feel for what somebody's kind of their lane, not their lane, because I'm stuck on lanes. Like what medium they're just really good at. And I like to see that. Like when some people just are really awesome at hacks, and some people are really awesome. And it's good because we all do different things, so you can see all of them. But it's really good to see. And because I feel like when people are kind of in their area that they really work well in, you can learn a lot as an outsider looking in, whether it's a technique or a way that they do things. So when you follow the cast of crew members, you really get an opportunity to express all of that. And so, yeah, I love them, hands down. Boom. And if I could, but it's just so many, and that would have blew my list of 5. And so I am going to put the cast off crew channel. There's a channel in the description box, but I am going to also put a link to my most recent cast off crew video. And when you go to the description box, there's all of them there. You can also find the Facebook page and all that other stuff, okay, for us. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, Stitch a Day. And I may have the name, the names wrong, but Stitch a Day. I like that channel. Now here's what's crazy. I subscribe to the channel. I watch the channel, but I don't watch all the videos. But the fact that I know I can go back to the channel is why I love the channel. Meaning, they do a very good job of placing a picture in the, as far as the thumbnail for their video, and they usually every day show a new stitch, and sometimes it's crochet and sometimes it's knit, and I like that because being a person that likes to design patterns or design things on the go, I can kind of think of my framework, and I can go to that channel and just go through the videos and get an idea of how I may want something to look or the texture I'd like for it to have. And so I really love that channel. And I believe it's called Stitch a Day. I will definitely put it in the description box. That was 2. Number 3, I gotta shout out my girl Carlin. Roddy. CYJ. I always mess up her name. Uh yeah, that's my girl. And she updates videos, I think every couple of, or once a month, but she does a lot of pictures when she's going on Facebook, and she's just a good friend, and I just love her to pieces, and so that's why I like her channel. Oh, well, let me give you something of substance so that you will actually subscribe to her. What I love about her channel is she takes things that you may always see, like hats, scarves, and she puts her own twist on them using embellishments. And I love that because it gives her pieces its own unique look. And if you see one of her pieces, you will know it's one of her pieces. And I love that. So, that's my girl. That is my girl. That was 3. Um, okay, I'm gonna have to kind of quasi cheat again. I'm sorry. Another one that I love is Bob Wilson 123. I love Bob Wilson 123 because, and she's also what, I think almost all of these people are, I'm saying Bob Wilson 123 because I really love that she puts up tutorials all the time. Now, I may not, now what's weird is I will watch almost all of the tutorials, but I do not actually do all of the tutorials, even though I usually will go through most of it, even if I have to hop sections. Again, it's because a lot of times when I'm looking at the videos, it's not necessarily to look at that particular project, but I like to look at how people choose to construct things or different techniques. Like here recently, she did a video, and the way she joined the handle, I loved it hands down. Like I don't think I've ever seen anybody join a handle like that. And for that alone, I would have put her in this list. That's how much I liked it. So now you're gonna try to find out what it is. Hey, tell her hi. She may not even see this video. I'm waving at her. Okay, keep going. Next, there are so many on YouTube. So this is like I could go on forever. Beth in Texas. Beth in Texas. Now, I don't think she's put up a tutorial in a while, but I'm gonna say her name not just for her YouTube channel, because I think she does really good, like Afghan throws, like big projects, which I love. But I love her Facebook fan page. I know I said about YouTube videos, but she does them, so they're good. But the reason why I love subscribing to her channel is because of her her Facebook page community. They are awesome. If you ever lose your crochet mojo, as Victoria's one Victorious woman likes to say, if you ever lose it and you need to get it back, go to Beth in Texas's fan page. You will get it back. Those people are just awesome. You can just scroll and scroll, and all you see is yarn goodness. So that's why I love her channel. And she just seems like she's just a sweet person. Yeah, yeah, she just does. And so does Claire. Well, for Bob Wilson 123, all of them are great, as far as I know. I think I already said it right, but I said one already and I mentioned it and kind of went away, but I'm going to come back to it, which is One Virtuous Woman, OB Dub. Um, she has not put up a tutorial in a while anyway, but she has such an archive that it doesn't matter. You can go there and find all types of things. And what I love about her channel, first of all, because she just seems to be a very strong woman of God, and I love that about her. She just seems so laid back and like a person you could just sit, chill, have some coffee with, have tea with, and just shoot the breeze. But what I like about her channel is that if you go through her archives, you can find all types of projects. And it's kind of veering away from that whole lane thing, but I think it's more so I get the feeling that she is just a very good instructor. So you probably could put almost any pattern in front of her and she would be able to convey it in a way that is easy for someone to understand. And I like that about her. She has jewelry and I think she's about to do some tatting. She does purses, handbags, apparel, all types of stuff. And usually you can even be a beginner and I think be able to do a lot of the things that are on her channel's archives. And so and that's another person. And so I could go on and on and on. I hope I didn't. Yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, there's so many. There's so many, and there's some great people. And yeah, I can't think of anything else. Okay, last question because this is a stream long video. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to upload this video. Okay, fill in the blank. I craft when I am. I craft when I am happy. I craft, because I just want to express myself. So when I am feeling very creative, I sometimes find that I craft when I'm stressed. Yeah, because crocheting and knitting for me is very, very soothing and relaxing. I craft when I am need like to think and kind of deprogram and stuff like that. So I guess all the time. So I did not know that this video would be so extremely long. If you made it all the way to the end, you are a rock star, and I appreciate you. And so in your comment, let me know if you are one of the rock stars that made it to the end, and I'll know you are because no one else will be able to say that I'm a rock star other than those that make it to the end of this video. I hope that you have enjoyed this. I had a great time making it. And if you decide to respond, please come back and add it as a video response. And please add the questions into the description box because since I'm not editing this video, you will not have it inside the video. I kind of broke my own rules on some of the questions, but hey, I think that's the fun of tags. And I look forward to interacting with you all in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Thumbs up the video, and I look forward to coming back with you all hopefully sooner than later. Take care and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.